right? However, this is an hour-long podcast. The last 45 minutes I thought were really good.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get there, but we
yes, I do think we're really good. The reason we're making this intro is just to warn you of that. And we turned off the camera, and Sam just brought it up. Usually when we film, we will walk around and talk for a good half hour to an hour.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, for a good half hour to an hour, we'll walk around and talk, and we'll kind of just get in the flow, and then we might grab a topic, we might not. Today we didn't. We just jumped right into it, and you can see it. The first 15 minutes were just not there, and then we do get in the flow. But just so you know, it's going to be. You're going to watch us basically do our routine before we turn the camera on.
Yeah.
Except this time it just happens to be on film.
Yep. So I guess enjoy that.
Yeah, for what it's worth. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
Plenty of things, nothing all at once. It's like a Seinfeld episode. It's about nothing.
Yeah. Do you cigar pipe?
Yeah, cigar. Yep. Sweet. So, I like this container.
Yeah.
Do
you want it?
No.
Okay.
I got a question for you, which we can get to at some point. Okay. No immediate rush, but I guess, is there anything jumping out at you in life?
No, there's nothing really to talk about. I was going to let you take the lead on this one.
Sweet. Well, then we're going to get existential real quick.
Not ready.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Well, at least I'm just going to put it here. We can clean up later.
Or just
Yep. All right. Well, we'll get all the fixing done first.
You guys are watching usually
the pre-show.
Yeah.
Except for I do miss a blowtorch. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, we could grab it.
Burn your apartment down? Yeah, that sounds great.
Little sunshine. Okay, so what do you want to get? Essential.
All right. So, I don't think I'm going to preface it. There are an infinite number of large-scale problems we deal with in society, right?
Okay.
So, like homelessness or global warming or food shortage or war, whatever.
Okay.
How, as an individual, do we deal with and interact with large-scale problems? And go.
I think you firstly have to make sure you're doing your part as an individual, contributing your part to society, and then have conversations, talk about the good, do your research. Why? What do you think?
So, I guess thinking about it, in large, I don't think most people should interact with large-scale problems.
Okay.
You're not good enough, period. Like, most people are not good enough.
Valid.
What was that?
Valid,
yeah. Like, I don't care how wonderful of a person you are. You're not at the level where that's something you can actually interact with. Now, there are some people that can, for sure. But I guess my question is more so on, like, if we're going to go that route, how the heck do you get there? Like, what are the steps you'd take to even begin to start interacting with big problems?
Oh.
Okay.
Why do you think?
Told you we were getting existential quick.
Yeah. I cannot. This tobacco is so wet. I'm guessing I don't have enough airflow.
That could be.
But this tobacco is so fucking wet.
It just doesn't want to light.
Yeah. I'm guessing I don't have enough airflow though. Try that.
That's an option too.
Okay. I just don't.
So, and we don't have to stick to this, but my thought would be, well, let's just pick a topic and say we want to fix it. So, the environment. We'll take the environment.
Okay.
So we've deemed internally that the environment is a huge problem and we need to fix it.
Okay.
That's just going to burn now.
Okay.
So I posit that it's not even possible to start looking at until you take the first step of just fixing yourself, right? Like go to the individual. If you don't start by understanding the individual, how the hell are you going to fix anything even slightly better than yourself?
Correct.
So,
and we've discussed this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So that's, I guess, not to belabor the point, like I stated, we don't have to go down this road. But my whole thing was people aren't good enough. You're not good enough. And you got to fix yourself way more than you're willing to do before you can start dealing with large-scale problems.
I agree. Yeah. I think you have to make sure you're getting your position in life correct. You have to make sure you're contributing what, you cannot be a burden in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you're no longer a burden, then you can give out excess energy and improve from there. Do your own research, figure out what the best path is, have your conversations, do your best to vote, to vote correctly based on the knowledge that you've gained. As far as you as an individual going out there and championing this and you being the one to lasso that last whale and drag him into the, the area for breeding, or you're probably not that guy.
You ain't that guy, bro.
You're not that bro, man.
You ain't that man, chief.
You ain't that chief sport.
You ain't that sport captain.
You ain't that captain, coach.
Oh, coach, you're gonna die. All right, so that doesn't need to exist. What is worth time in life right now?
You know what's interesting? Who's a pain in the fucking ass?
I see that.
So, someone very important to me and I had a conversation not too long ago about kind of where we were at in life and kind of what our focus was in life and what we were looking at. And you and I have talked about games and the game of games.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's such a pain. We're pausing on this. We can talk for a minute because this is getting me. I'm losing dreadfully. So just an absolute quick refresher to make sure we're all on the same page. Games would be your work, this, all the little things, the individual, the microcosms in life. And then the game of games would be how you play life. Like how
do you play all the games in succinct with each other?
Yep. And how did we get on this? What was your original
What was
question?
interesting in life right now?
Okay. Interesting in life. And I think we were talking about traveling. And this person was asking me, like, do you have a desire to travel, this and this and this? And, like I said, I'm very, very fond of this individual. And there's a large emotional attachment to them. And you don't want to be, the larger emotional attachment I have to people, the easier it is for me to become insecure or to feel inadequacy. The greater the emotional attachment, the larger my need and desire to impress and be good enough to and for.
Yeah.
And when someone asks you, like, oh, what do you want to do in life? Like, oh, do you want to travel? Like, oh, do you have any aspirations, dreams? Like, and you really want to impress this person, you think of like your absolute limit. You're like, yeah, I'm studying this language, even though you haven't practiced in 2 months, and yeah, I'm learning this instrument, even though you haven't, it's got dust on it. The strings need to be changed.
Right. You're selling the best version of what you could potentially be.
Yeah. You didn't take that cloth and wipe off your finger sweat on the strings, so they were just corroded. It's like, oh yeah, but I play all the time. I could, yeah. At least you play for me sometime. All right, maybe we'll see. Like I can't. I'm not gonna play for you. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So obviously you try to be as impressive as you can. And I told this individual, I was like, I know the correct answer, or the best answer would be to say like, oh, I want to do all these things and blah, blah, blah. But the truth of it is I'm 34, but I've compared to most human beings who ever existed, I've probably done more than I would say probably 95% of human beings who ever existed. You're talking like
of history,
all
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
And we compare ourselves to the now and and it's as society grows and things become easier, we're able to do so much more, and so we get so focused on like, oh, I don't have that nice car and that nice house and these nice things. But then if you just step back and look at everything from an absolute macrocosmic level, you realize like, wow, we have it so damn good. Mm-hmm. And compared to every human being that's ever existed, I just have the potential to do so much. And so when I look at it that way, and I was telling this individual, saying, when I look at it that way, I've done so much. And basically I have played all the games that I wanted to play. And I don't want to die. It's not like, okay, well...
It's not like, okay, done. Yeah. End the game.
Yeah, but I've played all the games that I want to play. Mm-hmm. And by playing a lot of games, I realized that the most important thing is the game of games, which is now being with those whom I love. Now bettering the lives of those whom I love. Just getting to spend time with them, eliminating the possibility of looking back and saying, I could have done more with them. I could have spent more time with them. It's like, no. And that's what I was telling this individual, like, I get the correct answer, especially, because this individual is an incredibly attractive female who I have a strong desire to procreate with.
Right.
Like, but seriously though.
Yep.
So like me being a guy talking to a female of my age who I have a strong desire to be with, I'd want to say all these things that I think would impress her. Yeah. So like,
the draw is there.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this is a potential mating partner. If you're looking at it from a biological level, this is a potential mating partner. I want them to be as impressed with my ability as possible. I was like, that's just not true. Like
right.
Like what I want to do now, and I'm happy with it, is I just want to live now. Mm-hmm. Obviously you're always trying to grow and move and expand. Go ahead.
Nope. All right. So you hit on one thing there that I liked. Not that I didn't like all that. There's one chunk of it that I enjoyed.
Yes.
So when we interact with people, we're often put in a spot where we want to sell ourselves as the best version of ourselves.
Yes.
You're talking on a very specific example. I would argue we do that anytime we meet new people or whenever we're doing anything.
Likely. Yes.
Yep. We try to put our best foot forward when we're interacting with others.
Yes.
Now, what we're doing there is we're trying to find a set of facts about ourselves that would be intriguing, that would draw attention, that would sell us as something worthwhile of being around, right? We're trying to create value, or we're trying to show that we have value in some way, shape, or form. What I love what you said is, like, we can do that, and you could technically say, yeah, I'm in the middle of reading like 5 books, and I play music all the time, and like, is it a lie? Maybe, maybe not. It's definitely not overtly accurate to the state of being that you are. So is it factual information? Sure. You may be in the process of physically reading 5 books. You do have instruments. You play them on the occasion. Like it's factual information. but is it truth? And that's where I'm drawing this distinction, which I think is interesting to go down, would be what is the difference between truth and facts? Like, I would argue that facts intercede with truth, but facts in and of themselves are not truth. They're just a set of information.
Well.
So then what is truth? Did we do this once? I know we did the good, the beautiful, the good, the true, and the beautiful. But
We constantly.
I feel like we cycle our same things.
I know. We probably talked about this like 4 or 5 times.
I'm sure.
I just cannot get over it. I used to smoke pipe.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a year and a half, 2 years where all I smoked was pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this tobacco.
Mm-hmm. And you just can't get it right now.
And it is just kicking my butt. You would think someone who grew up north, who had to light fires every night during the winter, would be better at lighting a small fire, but
No, apparently not.
no. This is why I live in the city now.
You leave the woods, you forget all the things.
So we talked about this a lot, but
Yeah.
kind of going back to your specific question.
Not that matters. You can go on something else too.
Yeah, but I guess truth would be like what actually is. I guess.
It's hard to define.
Yeah. So like what actually is down to the minute level versus, I don't know.
Yeah, I get you. Here's my thought. Our brains are not here. They're not present.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're not. Not
at all.
bit, no.
Not even a little bit. Like
No.
this is 0% value at the moment.
That is valid.
Yeah.
That's valid. That's valid. Let me get a couple things of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been feeling that the entire time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Strung out. Worst podcast episode.
Oh, without doubt.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah, valid. All right, good, yeah. Way to call it. Way to call it, yeah.
I was like, this is just shit and we're pulling shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, I was trying to figure out how to do this and like not articulate, but like actually do this without. We talked about this one time. It would be interesting to just let the camera roll, right, and do our thing, and then we have that 30-minute time limit, which kind of screws us.
Yeah.
And then if we wanted to get the post-podcast version of stuff, we'd need to restart another camera, and it's like, that kind of defeats exactly what we're doing. We know it's on. So I was trying to think of how I could set up my phone. Just like turn it on, not even tell you, just
okay. Yeah,
keep
but then
going.
you wouldn't know it's on.
I know, but I'm trying to think of like how we could do something like that.
Have this camera. Have a camera on like a lottery timer, like a roulette timer.
Yeah.
Where you just hit it and it might turn on, it might not.
Yeah. So then one of the times we get, I guarantee there's an app for that.
Maybe, yeah.
Yep. Actually, here, you take this, I'm doing this.
Okay.
I'm going to finish this sucker.
Okay. Dude, you'll like it. It's just, I just don't think I have proper airflow in there.
All right. I'm dedicated to making this work.
Okay. We should probably film a little disclaimer before this. If we want to post this, we probably film a little disclaimer and be 100%. Like, hey, this episode sucks.
Yeah, literally, this is the definition of this sucks.
I have an idea.
Yeah, what you got?
Let's go way off. We always try to talk about meaning.
Yeah. Let's talk about less.
Anything. Let's talk about anything.
Yeah. That's not the lighter. All right.
You're not the lighter guy.
That's not the lighter, bro.
Let's try to talk about anything.
Yeah.
Politics, something way out there.
We don't normally cover.
Oh, dude, I've got a good one.
Hit me with it.
What is something about men that you think women do not understand?
Well, this is going to be a battle.
Dude, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah.
What's something that women don't understand about men?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah, and then maybe we could turn it around.
Yeah, and flip-flop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we can speak for women. I speak for women.
Yeah. Well, what is a woman?
I don't know. Conglomeration of cells. What don't they understand about men? I would say So that, my thought initially goes to like, what's our general demeanor differences, right? So they're more agreeable, more conscientious, negative emotions. They are, the general feminine would be chaos and the dude is more order. So what do they not understand about us?
Generally speaking.
Yeah, obviously. No, this is factual specifics.
Yeah.
They don't get this.
We know everything. we have all the answers. Yeah. Can I toss something out there?
Yes, please.
Our need for honor.
Okay.
And like, you know what I mean? Because like, imagine how many times have you seen or been in a situation where something has come up and you were like, that will not fly. The odds of someone dying in the situation are incredibly small. But I'm not backing down on this. And if someone needs to die tonight, someone dies tonight. Like, I'm obviously taking to extreme. But
right. But what is the top end of it, though?
But I'm being very honest. Like, in your mind, you're like, the odds of this getting into a physical altercation are incredibly low, let alone it getting to the point of someone dying. Like, that is so, so low. However, I'm not backing down on this. And how many times has there like been a female in the group? It's like, just let it go. And you're just like, no, like, you don't understand. Like, you just don't understand. I get it. You're right in the sense of like what's best. And it would be just best for everyone to just be like, fuck it,
right,
move on. But it's like, and that's the thing that I've noticed is so many times, the time that Zach and I got in that bar fight with those 6 dudes, there was a couple females there like, break, and so many times, I'm just like motherfucker, like, no, let's go.
Yep.
And girls are like, just break up. And I can just tell by the way that they're saying it, or like when you're describing it. And I just don't think that the average female understands how important, and I don't really know exactly like what women need, like absolutely like a need in life. But like for men, like, and that young lady that I was talking about and I were talking about this as well. And I mentioned, I was like, look up the manifestos or the interviews with so many mass shooters, not serial killers, but like mass shooters, and listen to what they say. It's always the same thing. They weren't loved. They know this. But if you could bring that down to the root, it's like they didn't have their purpose. They didn't feel like that respect. Because
respect is a good direction.
It's that like that feeling of honor and purpose. That like, I am needed. Like, I am needed. Because when you're needed, like, think about like times, like, at least for me, like times when I don't feel needed. And not it's not that I don't feel loved or I don't feel appreciated or even respected. It's when I feel like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you're not really useful. That's when I'm at my lowest. But then as soon, like, literally I could be at my lowest, and then something happens in life and it's like, holy shit, I need to be doing this.
Yeah.
For the betterment of others, for the betterment of the world, all that negativity, that any amount of depression or anything, it's gone. It just ceases to be because my mind is immediately like, this is what I need to do. Like, no. And then it's the exact antithesis. I'm just like in it. I can just feel blood and testosterone raging through my veins.
It drives purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. I would full on agree that is a distinction between males and females, for sure. They don't have that same driven need to create value. I guess that would be maybe not, but it's like I guess what is the need that you're trying to fill here? So if we can articulate this, you're saying that
what is it about life that makes you say, no, not only should I not kill myself, but I never want to kill myself? Because purpose, like, what is my purpose?
Right.
What is it? Because like if you had no purpose in this world, it'd be like, yeah, there's a lot I can enjoy in life, I'm not going to kill myself. But at the same time, if I'm really depressed, I might as well just kill myself because I don't have any purpose.
Right.
Versus you have that sense of purpose, and it's like, it doesn't matter how much I want to kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's never an option
Mm-hmm.
because of Exhibit A.
Yeah. It's that. Okay, so I know I got it. Okay, to me that would be the distinction that we need. We need a sense of something that we are responsible for. Right? No, I don't. You're good.
Okay.
No, seriously, just take that. I'm going to take this.
Okay.
Okay. It's a sense that we need to be responsible for something. If we're not responsible for something, our value does not really exist anywhere. I have a different point as well. Though,
Okay.
What are your thoughts about that exact concept? Do you feel that's accurate? Do you feel that's inaccurate? We need to be responsible for something. If we're not responsible for something, then we're missing.
Yep. Well, when you're responsible for something, what am I trying to say? Well, you're needed. Like, it's not a matter of, holy shit. That leg on that table looks like it's about to fall out. Look at that.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's not great.
Better, closer, warmer.
Sorry. Well, and I think that's, you are needed and you feel that sense of need because of the responsibility. Yeah. I think it's basically a more in-depth or a different way of wording the original point. Yeah.
Yes. So the other point that I wanted to make, the distinction between males and females, you started to go over this topic, but I really want to hit this one home because I think this is an actual distinction. Because I think females can find a sense of responsibility and it drives them somewhat, and some have a proclivity to be similar to this, but I would agree it's more of a male-dominated area.
I think women naturally almost know their purpose. And I know there's a lot of people that disagree with this, but women know, like, hey, if the human race is going to continue,
it's because
we need a certain amount of us to be mothers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, and that's why women have a harder time once they get into their 30s holding down careers.
Yep.
Because they've got a lot more to figure out before they hit age 32. A lot more to figure out. Yep. Whereas guys, it's like, I got to 45, 50 before I need to start really worrying about that.
Exactly.
And that's why I think you'll see a lot of girls mature mentally a lot sooner than guys will.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 24-year-old female, well, in this day and age, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
But growing up,
mm-hmm.
When you're a young guy, when you're a 21-year-old guy or a 22-year-old guy and you meet a 22-year-old girl, it's like, oh man, she's a bit ahead of me here.
Yeah.
She's a bit ahead of me here.
It's distinct.
And but I think women they already almost instinctively know kind of the things they need to get done in life. Mm-hmm. Versus guys. I think the contrast here is that guys don't really know, and guys kind of need to figure that out.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And we figure that out in many different ways. It's we start to take on responsibility because we find value within that, and we're trying to figure out what creates the most high value responsibilities as we go through time. The one distinction that I was going to make is I think this is a key difference, is that males have an internal need for aggression. We have an actual need for some level of aggression. I'm not saying we need to go get in a fist fight.
Yeah.
But I am saying we need to be aggressive. And that's a distinction that women do not understand.
I was running math. I was running numbers.
You were running meth?
I was running meth. Breaking Bad's got nothing on me. And the average female has 1/16 to 1/37. I'll repeat that. 1/16 to 1/37 the amount of testosterone as the average male.
Yeah.
Now imagine, and I try to explain this to girls, because you're just so aggressive, And it's like, listen here, motherfucker.
Listen here.
And I tell them, imagine the most pissed you've ever been. Imagine that one time where you were like, I'm going to grab this thing's head.
Yep.
And I'm going to rip it off their body and I'm going to wave it in the sky so my enemies fear me. Like, imagine, like, just the most pissed you've ever fucking been, the most amount of rage, just like, I understand why people go to prison. I'm about to go there. Now, times that at the minimum.
At the minimum. Entry level.
Times that by 16. And so imagine when you're perfectly antagonizing your guy and you see him just like pissed off, realize he's at least 16 times more fucking filled with rage than you've ever been.
Yes. 100%.
Okay, stop camera, go back on.
Yeah.
And that's why so many guys are into sports.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, guys, when a guy wants to sit down and watch football on Sunday, it's because he can vicariously...
Yeah. Get a sense of competition and aggression out.
Yeah. You know, and that's why like working out is so good.
Yep.
And being a part of something is so good. Some competitive outlet is so good.
Right.
Whether that be in a team or individual setting. Some sort of working out, you know, hitting your PRs, anything. That's why it's so good. But I would say that's more important than vicariously.
Yep.
But like if a female ever wonders, like, why do guys like sports so much?
Mm-hmm.
Whether that be a sport with a ball or sport with a gun, you're like, come on, like, are you really investing? It's like, you don't realize, like, I have at least 16 times the need to release this.
Yes.
You know, to get down to where you are, like, because right now you're sitting at home, like, can't we just sit here and relax? It's like, listen, I need to invest 16 times the amount of time or intensity to get down to your level.
Yeah.
Like, I woke up today ready to kill something.
I chose violence this morning.
Yeah, like I woke up and I slammed the bed 3 times just so I could feel good. You know what I mean? Like, and there's so many days where I'll wake up and I'll be like, I'm irritable, and I'll just get down and pump out fucking push-ups. You know, like, it's like, because I just like need, and then like I'll pump out, you know, maybe 30, 40, 50 push-ups and be like, yeah, okay.
Now I can go do my
Now
stuff.
I can relax.
Yes.
You know, because like that, whatever that was, it built up throughout the night. I had that weird dream and like I'm just pissed now. You know, it's not like I'm violent. You know,
no.
There's a huge distinction.
Exactly.
It's like violence and rage aren't the same thing.
Right. And I would even articulate, so I think the channel that most dudes get their aggression out is in competition. And you hit on something with sports, that's accurate. But we don't spend our day-to-day doing sports. What we do spend our day-to-day doing when we're interacting with other dudes is talking shit and trying to one-up people. All right? So we do this nonstop. And for sometimes ladies like will participate in that and we'll kind of like, it's all fun and jokes. But like, this is also like, not to be crass, but it's just like a dick measuring contest that we're doing constantly. We're like, no, that was good, but this is better. And just constantly battling each other verbally.
You're constantly, it's not so much like you're sizing. Initially, you're sizing guys up.
Correct.
And I think that kind of goes back to like, can I trust you?
Yes.
You know?
Yes, it's a test.
Yep.
Are you worthy of my time?
Yep. And that's why like guys that, you're seeing like, can they play well with others? You know? And that's why I think a lot of guys don't trust guys who can't handle homosexual jokes. You know, like you're like when you're like just gay testing guys. You're like you hug, dude. You hug your buddy and like you just hug him a little too long. You'll try to break away and then you hold a little tighter. Like, dude, like, you know, it's like you're just constantly And me personally, I don't really trust guys who can't make like homosexual jokes.
Right.
Like the best joke I ever heard was at my cousin's wedding. So my cousin married this dude who absolutely awesome dude, Marine, couple tours. And so I think all the guys who stood up in his wedding were gentlemen he served with. And there was this one guy, if you were just to see him, very unassuming, pretty small guy, not a very large frame.
Yep.
Clearly a badass dude.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't really know it. But he'd walk around and like, obviously these guys are just liquored up and they're just high in life, you know? But he'd walk around and be like, we're having sex tonight. And then you just keep walking. Like it doesn't matter who you were. It doesn't matter who you were.
Yeah.
He's not like, we're having sex tonight. You know? Like, and it's like, but he did it in a way that like, clearly he was joking. And just
Yes.
like, yeah, but
that again is that sense of dominance and like battling back and forth that we do.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's just hilarious. Like every time you'd see him do it, you just bust out laughing because you just do it to like the most inappropriate, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like maybe someone's mother, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't think he ever did that, but.
Well, you don't know.
I hope he did. You're lucky. You're a lucky mother. But how do we?
The distinctions between men and women.
Yeah. Something after that though. Right before we went on that tangent.
Need for aggression.
Just the constant competition within each other.
Yep.
Yep.
This is kind of why I like to do things that tend to get throw people off. I don't know why, but if I throw people off, that's like an indicator to me whether they can play or not. And this goes back to our original point, actually. Playing games of games. It's like, I'll say something that is intended just to throw you off, just because I want to see how you react to it. Are you somebody that's going to continue this interaction, or are you just going to be extremely offended, thrown off, weirded out, walk away?
Do you understand the game?
Yes. Like, the prime example is like when people are leaving the establishment that we go to, and I turn and yell at them, "Have a good night, I love you." Like,
yeah.
There's occasionally somebody will stop back and be like, "Love you too," or something weird, and I'm like, okay.
They're either really weird or they get the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And honestly, the weirdest people are not going to say that. They're going to like just take it home and be weird about it. But
one spectrum of the weird.
Okay, fair.
You know, because there's the opposite side where it's like, oh, you were serious. You fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? There's the people who like don't get it, like get weirded out by it. It's like, okay. There's the people who get it and are like, okay, I love you, you know? And there's the people who are like, oh my God, they love me. I love you too. It's like, okay, dude, you don't understand the game, but you're just on the other side of it.
Yep.
Okay, but that's why you like to kind of shit test.
Yeah. You're getting a quick indication of reading people. Can you handle the abnormal? Or do you need generic?
So boring.
Yes.
So boring.
As we are.
Oh, dude. Oh my God. What is the need to feel so much adrenaline? Like, what is that need? Like, so me, and here's something, so you know me, and I think most of the people who watch this know me too. I am not very normal in the sense of being socially acceptable. Now, I can be.
Sure.
If it's a serious situation.
Sure.
Let's say something happens at your work, and you're like, hey, dude, I need you like to be like my date, or I need you in this situation. Like, I
need you to be professional right now.
You know I'm gonna handle that very fucking well. Will operate very well. However, just our friends at our establishment we like got a few drinks in me, strangers. You've literally heard couples, like I'll be talking and I don't think I'm being offensive at all. And you've overheard couples say like, do you want to go? Do you want to go? You know what I mean? But for me, and then like, I think a lot of people would probably be like, oh, dang, I need to tone it back. Versus me, I'm like, fuck them.
Yeah, you like hit this switch where the second you realize people are reacting to that, you're like, not so much how far can I take this, but it's how can I play with this right now?
Yeah, it pisses me off, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's the thing is it's like, how fucking soft and weak are you? You know what I mean? Like, I constantly look at myself and I'm like, dude, you're pretty fucking soft. Like, dude, you're pretty fucking weak. Like, dude, like...
Fucking Demply, bud.
You Demply, bud. You Demply. Oh, don't you know? Oh, dang it. I keep saying this all the time. The whatnots. You Demply, bud. You know, all the whatnots. So when I look at myself, there's many a day where I'm like, you're pretty fucking soft. I don't like you. You kind of gross me out. Get better. You know? And so that's how I view myself. And then I get in a situation like that where I'm literally just talking, and here's the problem, kind of adding on it, here's the problem. Some people are going to listen to this and they're not going to like it, but truth above all else. This is where I have the problem when people are like, I don't like you using that word. I don't like using that word. It's like, go fuck yourself. Like, I don't give a shit. Who the fuck are you? I use this word because it's accurate. Like, so the instance we're talking about where you overheard, there's a younger couple, guy and a gal, and I was talking, and someone had asked me about this female that I knew, or like there's an interaction between males and females, and I was just explaining it, and I was talking about girls who are overly promiscuous, and I refer to them as sluts because sluts is easier than saying overly promiscuous.
Right.
You know?
It gets your point across.
Yes. It's like, we all know what it is. It doesn't mean it's specifically female.
Yeah.
You know? But that's just what it was. And this girl was getting offended by it. And it wasn't like I was being a misogynistic asshole and just reaming out women. I was talking about this specific area of women and how it pertained to the conversation. And so she was getting upset, and her gentleman was like, do you want to go? We can go, you know? And for me, it's like, fuck off. You know, like, yes, the appropriate thing would be to hone it in, you know, and be like, okay, maybe I'll tone it down. But it's like, listen, I'm speaking within fucking truth.
Yeah.
And
so
you can't handle it.
I fully get where you're going, and I respect you for this, because you're way more willing to do that than I am. Though I will do this at times for sure. It's like when I see somebody being offended by something that I'm saying, or that you're saying for that matter, it's like, what is triggering your offense? This is not at you. It's not a judgment of you. It's just a discussion that we're having about information.
Yes.
So what in this information, what is the need to be offended? What do you gain by being offended right now?
Yep.
You're gaining nothing.
Yeah. And I'd like to get back to how we got on this because I totally forgot.
Yep.
But just to carry it a little further. And I used to really care. I used to really, really care. And I used to try to be, you know, and I used to like, oh, well, you know, like, let me kind of cradle your emotions here, you know, like, and it wasn't until about the last 2 years or so, when I realized there's just some people who aren't worth it. And now people who can't handle the truth, and this is literally in the last 2 to 3 years that I've developed this sense of like, go fuck yourself.
Sure.
Like, go fuck yourself. Like, listen, if you can't fucking handle it, maybe life just isn't for you. Maybe the world just isn't for you.
Right. No, I'm good.
All right.
You just got to go find some softer people to be around.
Yeah. And it's like, but how did we get on this?
So the lineage was males versus females, went with responsibility, then we went to aggression, then we went down the path of contests that we do with each other.
Yep. Shit testing.
People getting offended. I think that was the path.
I can't. Yeah, but I don't. There was a point, and I totally took us off of it.
That's all right.
It was. I think we got off of it when I was saying, like, pretty much everyone who watches and you know me, how it can get like societally inappropriate.
Sure.
Yes. So, you know that I can be like, you and I both know that there are people who know me very well who will not bring me around their families. Okay.
Fair.
Yes. All right.
Okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes. Yeah, because they're like, I love Cliff. I have a good time with Cliff.
I just don't trust you to do the things I need you to do.
Yeah. Cliff will probably say something around my family.
Sure.
And I can't have Cliff saying that around my family. And so, like, take this next part, with a bag of salt, knowing that I know I'm a little out there.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm a little out there.
Okay.
And this gal that I'm speaking with is better in this regard.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. But there's something she doesn't understand about me. And that's that there are times where I need to almost die.
Sure.
I need to feel that level of adrenaline. Like riding the motorcycle, she was following behind me. I'm riding the motorcycle to take it to my parents to winterize it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was my ride. And it's my last ride of the summer. And I'm going light. I'm going vanilla. I'm going very vanilla. You know, just like bobbing. You know, like, you know how like you move your hips over, you know, and you just ride, you know, boom, boom, boom. Then stand up a little bit, take your hands off the handlebars, feel some breeze, you know, just very like little snap off the start, you know, boom, boom, you know, like get, you know, come bob and weave. Very light riding, very light riding. And she was like, "Do you always ride like that?" And I was like, I can't remember the exact wording, but my point was like, that wasn't riding.
Yeah, that was just getting from A to B.
That was like a very calm, very like riding is like whipping, you know, probably going 120 and a 60, cars close, just cutting. And like I'll glance down and realize that,
oh, that's me now.
Okay. Like riding's like, you know, curving between these vehicles, look, and like my shoulder's about to hit the fucking, the headlight, you know, and I can feel the tires like, you know, they come on and like skid out, like, whoa, like
that's an experience, right?
Yes, yeah. And that's like, and I get it, dumb, because you one little mistake and you're dead, you're
or severely impaired.
You know, 120 down a side street, just you know, like it's like, you fucking idiot, what are you doing? I get that, but at the same time, I'm operating within what I know I can do. Hence why I'm still alive. Okay. Hence why I'm still alive. Because I've always operated within what my skill set. But, and this is what I was trying to explain to her, and I don't have the answer for it, and this is why I present the question to you. What is that? Why is there that need to just be like, because there'll be times, and this is, I'll end it here. And I try to explain this to her, like, life is fine, but then eventually I just get so like I just get in this trough of daily routine slop that just becomes
depressive.
This oatmeal consistency of just like, bleh, you know, it's like oil in cold weather. And it's like, fuck this. I need to I just need to spike my adrenaline, and guess what? I'm going to feel alive, and then I'm in it for the next month or two, you know, or next month or day, depending on what mood I'm in.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's say on average, I just like almost die. And then for the next month, I'm like alive. And then by the end of the month, going to the second month, I'm like, okay, here we go back to the routine of life. And it's like, what is that?
Yep, I know exactly what that is.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, no, okay. I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
So there are 3 main things that as a male we need food, water, fuck it, no, like mentally need. First one being, we kind of already covered it, aggression, a battle, something to like fight over, something to physically compete with, dominate, some level that we can exert ourselves fully to experience a win, essentially. That's one part. Second part, we need something beautiful to chase after. We need that. Like, if we don't have that, we lack the ability to find beauty. I'm not saying it's only women. Like, you can go in nature and find something beautiful. Yes. But we need to find beauty, and we need to chase after it. And the third one is we need adventure. It's an actual need built into us. If we lack adventure in our life, we're essentially just corroding and dying. If I don't have a like drive and call to something that is beyond what I do, I'm basically a puddle on the ground. I'm useless.
You're You're a soy boy in a blue city.
Yes.
No offense to soy boys in blue cities, but I think we all know that there's a distinct difference in masculinity between dudes who are coming out of the woods versus dudes who are wearing their chukka boots and their leather man purses walking through a city. It's like they're just we're not playing the same game.
Agreed. And I think the funny part is though, even those guys still have a need for this.
Absolutely.
Because like think about how they get so driven and whatever towards whatever thing they deem valuable. Now they might not handle it in the same aggressive way that we will, but they will fight after it and they'll need to like push the boundary in whatever way it seems appropriate to them.
Yep. I guess the distinction that I'm drawing across is like if you live here or you live up north.
Yep.
And you don't own a gun and you're not willing to go fast on something.
Yep.
And you're not you're kind of the average. That's where the average is. Yeah. And so if you're not kind of in there, you're looked at like the average guy's gonna look at you like, you okay, dude? You know? Versus you go
you go to a big city
more, let's say much more in a way tame.
Yeah.
I would say as far as masculinity goes,
more controlled, civilized, and rule bound.
Yes, that is it. And it's not, not better or worse. It's just, it's life, know? And I might be talking my fucking ass, so who the fuck am I? But based on my observations, yes, much more rule bound, much more
constrained in general.
Sophisticated, I would say.
Sure.
And so the average there is if you were to act the way that we act here,
that would be
unacceptable. Yeah, because you would scare people.
Correct.
Like, listen, like we've learned to be a little bit more civilized, if you will. What are you doing? You know, versus here, Okay.
Yeah. So that is what you're referring to. It's our need for adventure internally. Like we cannot function without that. And I don't know why. I think it's that we're just talking about cities, but like the need for like what always perplexes me is people who want to be bound by rules. This is a me personal thing, but holy hell, dude. I have such a disdain for rules. Now, let me be clear. I get why rules exist.
Yes.
I respect majority of rules.
Yep.
But if I think it's dumb, I'm not going to respect that rule. I'll accept the consequence if there's a consequence to be had. So be it. But that's my fucking choice.
Yep.
And I will choose to do that. And I cannot stand, and it befuddles me, why everybody just goes, well, you just got to do it. Well, do you think it's actually useful to do that? No, but we have to.
Just
stop right there. Fucking
why?
Why?
What? Well, because that's the rules. Why are they the rules? Well, because that's why? Why?
Drill down. If you don't think it's useful, the hell are you doing it for?
Yeah.
Like literally. And that's just a personal thing that baffles the living hell out of me. Yep. But that's how the world works. We operate by rules. We function in them, but I cannot stand it.
No. Yeah. And I guess, and that's what I was trying to explain to her, like, and I didn't really try, and I did a poor job of it, but it was...
This is our attempt now.
Yeah, this is our attempt, if you watch this, young lady. Yeah, and I can't really articulate why, but it's just like, I need to rage out, and it's like...
You need to feel alive.
I need to feel alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's like someone's argument to that would be like, well, like, doesn't people loving you and don't like, and it's like, you don't understand. I don't feel worthy of love. And I'm being very serious. Like, I don't feel worthy of love. And if someone says, I love you, I love you, I love you, I will doubt that. I will be super insecure about that. I won't trust that if I don't feel like I am alive.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't feel like I am a certain level of masculinity, a certain level of rage, a certain level of, you get done doing something and like, and every guy's been here, where you just get done doing something and you just like fucking scream. And it's just like you're so fucking happy that you literally just fucking scream. You can't watch any professional sport of a guy who, I mean, girls do this too, but watch professional sport where a guy just does an insane thing, and he just screams. What you're looking at is what every guy feels every single day, and every single guy wants to do that every single day, and not just scream, but they want to do something that elicits
that is worthy of that.
That is worthy of that. Like, guys are chasing that fucking scream. When they wake up, they're like, what can I do today to push myself closer to that fucking scream?
Yep.
And yeah, I couldn't really explain it to her, but it was like, you don't understand. Like I like need that.
Dude, if we don't have the 3 things I listed, fighting battles, chasing beauty, and having adventures, we do not feel alive.
Yep.
That is just a flat out fact.
Yep.
And anybody who denies that and tries to, oh no, I don't really need that. Shut up. You are literally lying to yourself. You are literally fucking lying to yourself.
Yeah, I've yet to see a guy who didn't. And I've seen a lot of guys who would say, like, I don't really need that. No. And then you get them into a situation where they do rage out, and you never watch them go back.
No.
You know?
No.
Like, I've had a couple
buddies.
Buddies.
Shut that off.
I've had a couple buddies, like, growing up, we had a buddy who was always on the softer side, you know? And late in high school, mid to late high school, he did something. We were playing a sport, and I can't remember what it was, but he did something that was just like, you know, like, and I remember, it was the only time I've ever seen this with this guy, but he did it. And you know how dudes, like, when they rage out, they walk like, you know, they walk like, you know, like, is the only time I've ever seen him make that face doing it. And literally all of us guys on both teams were just like swarmed him. I was just like jumping up and down, like hitting him and stuff like that. Because like we watched him evolve. Like we all got to witness him and he was never the same.
Yeah.
Joined the military, you know, and maybe he would have either way, but like, and who knows how much of a growth that was. But he was never quite the same.
Yeah. And
I've probably only seen it 2 or 3 times where you watch a guy.
Yeah, make that switch.
Yeah, who's like, and they do something that's more intense. They do something that's more, I don't know, testosterone releasing or rage and who knows. But they're never quite the same.
Nope. And
so for guys like, well, I don't really need that. You know, like, I don't know. It's like maybe that's what you truly think. Mm-hmm. But I'm guessing it's only because you haven't experienced the flip side of it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yep. What do you think?
Killing it.
Yep. All right. Love it.
Love you.